Oh, bless you, Link. What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time 3D. In the last episode, we opened the door of time and got the Master Sword. We also traveled 7 years into the future. Unfortunately, in doing so, we allowed Ganondorf access to the Sacred Realm, and he obtained the Triforce. And in 7 short years, he took over Hyrule and did a bunch of bad stuff. So now it's our job to rescue the 5 stages and restore peace to the land. But in order to do that, we need some money. So let's drop a bomb in the middle of Kakariko here and see what happens. Our Shard of Agony is going off, alerting us to a secret. And would you look at that? There's a nice little hole there for us to fall down. Alright, so what do we have down here? Ooh, a bunch of redeads. Well, let's just quickly play the Sun Song Land to freeze these bad boys in place. Yeah, let's take the threat out of the redeads. That's always a good idea. Plus, we can use our newly acquired Master Sword now to do some serious damage to these guys. I mean, look, 3 hits, and they are down for the count. So assuming we don't hit a wall here, we should be able to kill all these guys nice and easy, like so. Alright, and what's in this chest? Let's find out. Would you look at that? It's a huge rupee worth 200 rupees. That is kind of awesome, actually. Doesn't exactly fill our wallet out to the max, but hey, it's more than enough for what I want to do in this episode. Speaking of which, we're going to leave Kakariko in this episode. Now, I know there is some stuff that we can do in Kakariko right now, but don't you worry, guys. We're going to be coming back to Kakariko quite a bit in this game, so it's not like I'm really passing up a major opportunity to get anything right now, because we'll come back, you know, later on down the line and we can collect everything then. Plus, I am kind of sick and tired of side questing and backtracking. I mean, my main objective right now is to get to the next temple as quick as we possibly can. However, I do want to do one major side quest, and there will be a little bit of backtracking in this episode, but don't worry, it's actually along the way to the next temple, so I'm not going out of my way to do anything anyways. But the one major side quest that we're going to do is actually just going to save us time a lot later on in the game anyways. So what we're going to do is actually head over to Lon Lon Ranch. We haven't been there in like 7 years, so I'm curious to see how they have fared under the tyrant rule of Ganondorf. Nothing good could possibly have come from that. The gray ominous clouds aren't that appealing either, but let's go visit the stables and see if Mr. Engel or anyone's still in there for that matter. Anybody home? Oh, hey Malin. Wow, 7 years have been good to you. Oh, a visitor! It's been a long time since we had a visitor here. Where'd you come from? Since Ganondorf came, people in Castletown have gone, places have been ruined, and monsters are wandering everywhere. Mr. Engel is just using the ranch to gain Ganondorf's favor. Everyone seems to be turning evil. But Dad, he was kicked out of the ranch by Mr. Engel. If I disobey Mr. Engel, he will treat the horses so badly, so there's nothing I can do. If only I could play their favorite song for them. Well, Malin, you didn't teach us that song 7 years ago for no reason. And guys, I think we found our calling. We're gonna become a rancher for the rest of our lives. It's a good way to spend out the rest of the game, right? In all seriousness, though, I'm gonna go talk to Engel. I got a bone to pick with you, dude. Can't just go mistreating horses like that. There are some people in Kakariko spreading rumors that I cheated Town out of the ranch, but don't be ridiculous. That guy Town was weak. I have the hard-working Engel poured so much energy into this place. I don't want any strangers like you saying anything bad about me. Listen, the great Ganondorf recognized my obvious talents and gave the ranch to me. I will raise a fine horse and win recognition from the great Ganondorf. Say, young man, do you want to ride on my fine horses? If you pay me 10 rupees, you can ride. Alright, let's do it, man. And no, I don't need your instructions on how to ride a horse. I can explain it myself, thank you very much. Now, there is a point to this. It's not like we're just slacking off for no reason like we normally do. Let's quickly play a Epona song and see if the freaking horse actually remembers us after 7 years, considering no one else seems to, for crying out loud. I mean, there is no respect for the hero in this game. Literally no respect. But, oh, there you are, Epona. What, Epona, what are you doing? Stop running into walls and stuff. Just let me mount you and let's ride into the sunset. Come on, let's go. Now, technically what you want to do is just immediately go and talk to Engel, but what you can do to get your rupees back is actually just jump over these little, obstacles at a high enough speed to get a high enough, jump. So there you go, you'll just get 5 rupees from each of those, just like that. Nice and easy to get your 10 rupees back, but what I want to do is actually go and talk to Mr. Engel now. When you want to dismount, stop and press A. Hey, young man, do I know you? I just feel as though I've seen you somewhere before. If you use L's hard, you can talk to me from horseback. I'm literally doing that right now. Do you not understand that? Are you ready to go home so soon? Yeah, we're done. Although, are we really? Because what we're going to do is actually immediately talk to Engel and go ride the horses again. This time when we go to talk to Engel to get off Epona, something a little bit different is going to happen. But again, we do need a Epona. And the game kind of tricks you. They put this horse like right next to you that you can easily just go and ride. But I know there's only one horse for me, and that's Epona. So screw a playing. Don't you run away from me, you Fine, I'll play the song then. If that makes you feel any better. Even though, I mean, we just got off you like 2 seconds ago, honestly. Did you forget about us then? See, now you're all happy. Now you'll let me ride on you. No, I had to play the stupid song first. Whatever. You know what? I honestly don't really care about those 10 rupees that we lost, so I'll just go immediately talk to Engel. I want to save as much time as I possibly can anyways. We had a lot of stuff to do. You're getting a little bit better. How about a little race with me? 1 lap around the crowd with that horse. Let's make a wager. Say 50 rupees? Alright, let's do it. Raising the stakes a little bit, I see. I can't actually condone betting, but hey, if Nintendo said it's alright, it must be good for children. Now, the race with Engel is kind of easy. Make sure you press A right at the start. You'll get a little bit of boost. And then if you notice on the bottom screen, you have some carrots down there. Those basically represent opponent's stamina. So use those to your advantage. You get a little bit of an extra speed boost. Now, you really only want to keep, like, you always want to keep 1 in the gun. It'll cause the rest of the carrots to regen a little bit faster. If you use all your carrots, opponent will slow down, and then it'll take longer for them to sort of regenerate all of your carrots. But if you leave 1, they'll regenerate, obviously, a little bit quicker. But the first race with Engel is kind of easy, but as you'll notice, he's not too happy. Just shoot! If the great Gendor found out about this humiliation, hey you, how about another race? If you win, you can keep the horse. Oh, raising the stakes a little bit, I see. I like this a lot. I like where this is going. Let's race him again. Again, use the same tactic and press A as soon as the race starts to get ahead of Engel, of course. The second race with Engel is a little bit harder, so what you're going to want to do is make sure you stay on the inside of the corral as best as you possibly can. Also, use pretty much all of your carrots when you can. Again, always keep 1 in the gun. And now, keep in mind that Engel cannot actually, like, phase through you, so if he's about to pass you, just try and go in front of him and, like, cut him off. Like, it'll slow him down, it'll slow you down as well, but he won't be able to pass you, and you'll usually be able to pull the race. Just like that. So there you go. Nice, easy victory for us. What's up with that horse? Is that Epona? How did you tame that wild horse right under my nose? I was going to present that horse to the great Ganondorf. You were going to give Ganondorf a wild horse? That seems like a really bad idea to me. But I bet on the race and lost. Shoot! Ha ha ha! As I promised, I'll give the horse to you. However, I'll never let you leave this ranch. I like how he has his face on the gate, too. That's really nice. Nice and egotistical of you. I mean, at least he's kind of a man of his word, right? At least he'd let us keep the horse. However, he does have 1 major security flaw in his ranch. We can actually just jump over this gate and go directly out to Hyrule Field. Opponent probably would have broken her legs on that fall, but since she didn't, she's ours to keep and ride around through Hyrule Field as much as we want. That's going to make traveling a lot easier on us. Now that we have Epona, though, what we're going to do is actually take her right back into Lon Lon Ranch. I know that might seem odd. Why would you bring the horse back to the guy who is pretty much keeping her hostage? But trust me, now that we have her, things are going to be a little bit different. Like, a whole bunch of side quests have opened up. Some minigames have also become available to us. And there's one thing in particular that I just want to get out of the way right now. So let's go into the middle of the ranch. And now Malon's out here, so we can talk to her real quick. Whoa there, Epona. Let's go. Thank you very much for the other day. I haven't even asked you your name yet. Really? Link? That's what I thought. You're the fairy boy from the forest. That was years ago. Do you remember me? How could I forget a face like that? You do? I was sure it was you because Epona remembered you. Oh, I have to tell you something about Mr. Engel. He was afraid the evil king might find out that Epona had been taken away. It really upset him. But one day, all of a sudden, he went back to being a normal, nice person. I can't believe it, but peace has returned to the ranch. It's all because of you. I owe you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Link. Aw, don't mention it, Malon. Epona looks great. It looks like you're the tamer, too. How about trying your skill with Epona on obstacle course? I'll time you for 2 laps. It's pretty challenging. If you miss jumping a fence in the proper order, you'll fail. How about it? Do you want to try? Yeah, let's go for it. The current record is 50 seconds. If you can beat the record, I'll give you a present. Give your best shot, okay? Alright, let's get started. Now, this obstacle course is kind of tricky, actually. Now, keep in mind she said 2 laps in 50 seconds, and if you were paying attention during that Engel race, it took us about 25 seconds per lap, so yeah, you're going to be cutting it really, really close here. Now, keep in mind you don't need to waste a care on these little small fences right here. Your opponent can just jump over them nice and easy. The big fences are what you need to use your carrots on to get enough speed to jump over them. You'll notice that when going over a fence, you can't actually steer Epona, so when you're about to jump over a fence, try and angle yourself towards the inner area of the corral, that way it's the shortest distance, and use your carrots on the straightaways. And we might be able to do this, actually. We're doing quite alright for ourselves. I just want to, also, they don't regenerate your carrots on the or when you start the second lap either, so make sure you kind of keep some in reserve. But we're not doing too bad for ourselves right now. If we can get 1 more care for this last jump, that would be fantastic. There we go. Oh, we're going to be cutting it a little bit close here. Come on, Epona, let's go. 48 seconds, not too shabby. The fastest I've ever gotten is like 47. I've never been able to get 46. I don't even know if that's possible, but there you go. You did it. 48 seconds, a new course record. I have to give you a present to commemorate your new record. The present's a little too heavy to give you here, so I'll have delivered to your house. Bet you can't wait to see it. Oh, well, that gives us even more reason to head back to our hometown of... I don't want to talk to you again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get on my horse. I'm sorry that you're just next to it and I'm accidentally talking to you, but I want to leave. I'm sorry, Malin. It's something personal. I just want to leave. But yeah, that gives us more reason to go back to our house in Kokiri Forest. I mean, we do actually need to go back there. That's where the next temple is going to be. Plus, I mean, we haven't been to our house in 7 years. Who knows what's going on in our own home forest? I like how the game has to play like this cutscene again too. After you leave the ranch for a second time, it's like, yeah, game, I got it. Opponent is ours now. You really don't have to, like, emphasize that again. I guess it's kind of a nice feature, though. I mean, I'm not really complaining too much about it, but it's just kind of funny that they do it again. So, unfortunately, we cannot bring opponent into Kokiri Forest. We have to leave around Hyrule Field, but don't worry, she'll be there for us when we come back. And if she's not, we can just play opponent's song. She'll come running to our side. Now, I do actually need it to be nighttime, though, so let's, of course, play the sun song again. There's actually one Skulltula in Kokiri Forest that I want to collect using our newly acquired hookshot. And of course, the wolves are our cue that when we enter the next area, it's going to be nighttime, and hey, look at that, it is. Alright, so Kokiri Forest after 7 years, well, not looking too good. Honestly, there are monsters everywhere. It's kind of terrible, but what we can do is actually go immediately to Lynx House, because Malin's present's going to be already waiting for us, so let's go inside and see what we got. Are you guys excited? I know I am. And what is it? It's a cow. Yep, she got us a cow. It's kind of useless, a little bit. I mean, I would have preferred, like, rupees or something. But a cow's good, I guess. For now. So anyways, the only Skulltula that I want to get is right over here on top of this little house. Now, one thing to note about this Skulltula is it's kind of changed the position of it on the 3DS than from the N64. On the 3DS, you can only get it from, like, the front, but on the N64, you had to go to the back of the house to get it. It's probably because they sort of up, like, the polygon count on this little, like, tree trunk right here. Like, on the N64, it was kind of like a square, but on the 3DS, it's, like, more cylindrical, so they obviously changed it a little bit and moved the position of it slightly, so I just wanted to make that note real quick. Now that that is done, we're going to go directly into the Lost Woods. Now, I know we planted a magical bean plant out here 7 years ago, and yes, that did grow into a flower, but that flower only takes you around Kokiri Forest, and then it stops you off at a little alcove with like maybe 20 to 30 rupees in it, so it's really not that big of a deal for us to collect right now. The other magical bean plant that we planted over where the Skull Kid was, pretty much leads you to absolutely nowhere, so again, it's completely useless to ride. I'm not even going to bother showing it off. What we want to do is actually make our way towards the Sacred Forest Meadow, but before we do that, we're going to stop off in that little room where the two business scrubs were 7 years ago. Hello, Meadow. Of all the people to survive the 7 years, it had to be you, of course. What do you want? Who do you think you are? That Kokiri-like clothing won't fool me. I promised her I would never let anyone go through here. If you want to see her that bad, I'm going to need some proof that you're really a friend of hers. Something you could only have heard from her. Not that she would ever be friends with a grown-up like you. Oh, really? Well, have I got the song for you. Eat it, you little punk. That melody! Saria plays that song all the time. You do know Saria. That song. Saria taught that song only to her friends. Okay, I trust you. When I see you, I don't know why, but I remember him. Maybe because it is me, idiot. Alright, whatever. So if we go over to the left here, where the two business scrubs were 7 years ago, you'll notice that our plant has grown into a nice little flower. But more importantly, it's going to take us up to where this Skulltula is, and look at that. One hit with the Master Sword, and that Skulltula is ours for the taking. And that's all the backtracking I wanted to do, so let's make our way over to the Forest Sacred Meadow, or the Sacred Forest Meadow, or whatever it's called. It's got some weird, stupid name, where, like, it's reversed or something like that, but I believe it's in this direction? Let's hope I'm right. And there we go. Ha! Screw you, Lost Woods. I know my way around here. Perfect. And shut up, Navi. I know we're going into an area where there's tight corners and we can use L targeting to sidestep and stuff like that. She's basically just doing that to alert us to these guys right here. These are pretty much moblins. Basically what you can do is shoot them in the face with your hookshot and they will go down in one hit. So use that to your advantage. You do not want to get in their line of sight. These guys are pretty vicious, actually. So use your hookshot to your advantage. The hookshot has a really, really long, like, kill radius, too. So normally, for the most part, you'll be able to kill them before they hit you. Like that. That's kind of what I was trying to avoid doing. Come on, a little bit closer, dude. Yeah, get out of here, punk. See, I'll hit you right back if you hit me, dude. Can be a little bit dangerous going through here, but again, use like the sort of the L targeting to your advantage to see around the corners. And thankfully, these guys have terrible eyesight and can't see me right now, although I can't even hit you right now, unfortunately. Are you walking closer to me right now? I can't really tell. Yeah, get out of here, son. Thankfully, their hitbox is kind of big, so it works out in your advantage to use the hookshot. You can actually hit them from the back with your sword, too, but it's much easier to use the hookshot. And I know there's 2 of them around this corner, so I'm being very, very cautious over here. You need to die. Thank you very much. And there's one more over here. Now, this one you need to be careful. If he sees you when you're coming out of this water, he'll actually push you back in the water. You can kind of get stuck in a loop, and you have to just, like, sort of wait for him to move out of your way. But I don't actually see him over here, so you know what? I'm just going to go up the ladder. And you might have been able to hear it, but there's actually a Skulltula over here, so let's collect this real quick. Come here, my friend, you. Thank you very much. And, by the way, there's a fairy fountain down here. I'm pretty sure I made mention of it before, but use that if you really want to before going into this next temple. I myself, I'm not going to bother picking one up, and I'm just going to go for it. Now we got this one last giant moblin to deal with over here, and he's got this giant rock hammer. This guy, honestly, kind of annoying. I have a lot of trouble with him. But basically what you want to do is sort of avoid his little shockwaves, get as close to him as you can, sort of roll up to him, and then hit him as much as you can. 3 hits, and he will go down nice and easy. And when he dies, check it out. He gives you like 3 red rupees, which of course is worth like 60 rupees. So that's kind of nice, but let's see if Sarya's still here. The flow of time is always cruel. Its speed seems different for each person, but no one can change it. A thing that doesn't change with time is a memory of younger days. In order to come back here again, play the minuet of Forest. And with that, we've learned the minuet of the forest. We can actually use this song to teleport back here anytime we want. Link, I'll see you again. Was that really necessary? Alright, but that is going to do it for this episode. So, once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.